One thing that I'm sure is a lot of your guys' mind is making more sales, right? And something I get asked oftentimes is how to sell without being salesy. And so inside of Sales OS and the Curriculum of Founder OS, I get into this a bit, but to kind of just bring this up with everyone, let's talk about just the structure to a sales call. So you've been creating content, you're getting leads, someone's gone and booked a call with you, let's say, to go and buy your product or service. The way that I see a 60-minute sales call is I split it into 3 different parts with about 20 minutes, 20 minutes, and 20 minutes. You have discovery, you have the pitch, and you have objection handling and any questions that come up. The most important part of the 60-minute sales call is the discovery. The discovery is the piece of the call where you're asking the prospect different questions to understand their current situation, their dreams, what they're really after, what they've tried before, why now, and what's not working for them. All of that data, all that understanding and empathy you get from learning where that person's been at, what they've tried and why it's not working, allows you then, when you actually go to let them know about your offer, to curate it based on what they said. You come across as salesy on a sales call if you don't really listen to what the person's been going through and instead just decide to get into your pitch and start slamming them with some generic stuff, not knowing their situation. So it's imperative that you ask the right questions. What are they really trying to do? What have they tried? Why is now the perfect time for them to get going? What would happen if they went another 6 months going like they currently are? How would that feel? What would that do for them? What other things have they tried out there? What's not worked about those things? So asking a lot of what questions and a lot of how questions. What have you tried and how does it affect you not having a solution right now? As an example, after those 20 or so minutes of discovery, you're now ready to parlay into the pitch part of the sale. Okay. Now this part, a bridge to the pitch, could look something like, all right, well, we've covered a lot here on this call so far. I feel like I have a good understanding of your situation. And I feel like what we have going on over here is really perfect for where you're currently at and the things that you're looking to solve, like X, Y, and Z. Before we get to kind of what we do over here, were there any final questions on your side? Boom. They say no. You move on to letting them know maybe about the 3 sort of pillars to what your offer is. And each time relate each pillar to a challenge that they had brought up in the discovery so that it's customized to their situation, not just some generic salesy pitch. From there, you're going through each of these pillars. So at Founder OS, that may be things like helping people with their organic content strategy, helping them narrow in their content categories, and then helping them with their system to remove themselves from operations, as an example. Each pillar, when I end kind of talking about it, I'm going to ask them something like, does that make sense? Cool. Any questions before I move on to the next piece? Making sure that along the way, I'm involving them and kind of getting their permission to proceed. Now, once the pitch is wrapped up, typically then I'm kind of, before I price drop, I'm going to say something like, cool, well, that's how everything works. Do you have any other questions on anything? And then I can let you know kind of next steps. They may say, yeah, what's the price? And you may say, well, before I get into the price, were there any final questions in any other area of this that, have come up for you? Giving them a chance to field every other objection other than pricing at this point. Now, from there, you're going to name the price and keep it simple. Don't ramble on. And there may be objections coming up. Now, the whole purpose of running a really tight discovery process in those first 20 minutes was that, so in the actual closing, which the definition of closing in my books is that closing begins when the objections begin, which means that for those of you obviously that are selling, you should expect objections. It's rare that you just pitch something and someone just buys it. They're going to have questions. That's totally normal buying behavior. So the objections come up, but the good news is you did a really great discovery in those first 20 minutes of the call that you're now completely prepared to go and help field those different questions or objections by bringing up what the person had said earlier. Now, how I approach this in terms of my position on these calls is that I'm kind of taking the position of like a leader and trying to go and get them to rise to the best version of themselves. oftentimes what will happen is on a call, you can see that someone's trying to play small. Suddenly now they're cowering and saying, oh, well, I don't know if now is a great time. Like, yeah, I got to think about it more. It's like, well, let's go back to what you had said earlier. You had said that you couldn't keep going on another 6 months like this, that, your business is stagnating, you're losing money, the profit from your business and the margin is suffering, and that you can't keep relying on paid ads. So do you really think in 6 months you're going to be in a better spot? That's just an example of kind of holding that person to like a higher standard, really the standard that they probably brought up in the first 20 minutes. And just making sure that you're staying consistent there as any coach would, right? I've coached thousands and thousands of founders, and what you're trying to do is kind of get the best out of the person, right? And inspire them to be the highest version of themselves. And it's not all that different on a sales call, right? You're trying to inspire someone to take action and be a better version of themselves, especially for those of you that are selling some sort of transformation in your product or service. So pause on that, just something I think it's worth going, because I know a lot of you are not just looking to build your audience, you're looking to monetize an audience, and thereby knowing how to sell, knowing how to time a sales call, knowing these 3 stages and the bridges between them is a key aspect then to feeling confident on the calls. Now, last final note I say here is sales is a lot about your energy, your vibe. So also make sure that when you're getting on sales calls, you got good energy, right? And a lot of that is set in the first 10 seconds of a call. So as an example, if I was pitching you right now and you arrived on a Zoom call, I may say, hey, Michael, great to see you. Welcome to this Zoom call. I'm excited to dive in. It's like, whoa, this guy's not screwing around. There's a vibe here. This guy's got like an aura. Versus, hey, so how you doing today? How's the weather over there? It's like, meh, 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 right? So you get it, right? The point being like really good energy, knowing the pieces of it. I think that's kind of like the 80-20 of nailing your calls. So now hopefully some of you have the energy and the vibe to go and bring up any questions on your mind. So hit me with it. Let's go. What do we got? There we go. Tim, what's up, man?
Just one question, Matt, at the very beginning. I think that structure you gave was really helpful, but like, do you set the agenda? Do you say like you just said your high energy at the beginning, but then do you say, hey, we're going to spend some time getting to know you and see if it's a good fit. And then I'm going to tell you about, my thing. No, you just go into discovery.
Yeah, listen, I want to caveat everything I say with you can do whatever the hell you want in all areas of business. Okay. So like my way doesn't have to be like the way, right? But I'll tell you what's worked for me after 15 years is like, keep it simple, right? You're the leader and you're going to direct people through it. So let me just use an example that would show what we don't want to have happen, right? Say we go and we say what you said, oh, I'm going to go through this and I'm going to go through that and then that. You don't want the person saying, actually, I was hoping that we would just do this. No. You're on my Zoom call. This is my product or service or my team or my brand, or I represent this brand. I'm going to run you through how this goes. You don't say that to them, obviously, but that's the energy and the leadership I'm talking about on these calls, right? So I'm just going to lead them through the call. You don't need to let them know all the different stages per se. It's not bad to do that. You can do whatever, but I would just go and welcome them to it. It's great to have you here. I'm really excited to get into it. What I like to do is start with the end in mind. And so, to kick things off, what are you really looking to do with your brand this year?
Cool.
And it's like, boom, we're just getting into dream. So now they're going to start painting this like picture that they want. And it's cool. Like, I'm curious, like, what does that look like? And what does that do for you? And how are you currently looking at that? And what have you tried to solve that? And, what's not working about that? And how long have you been trying to do that? Again, a lot of what and how questions to uncover different data points. And along the way, active listening. So you may hear, or they should hear you going, interesting. Oh, wow. Okay. And then even sometimes providing little insights or tidbits throughout it. Oh, okay. That's awesome. Actually, we see that all the time in Founder OS. Or you're not the only founder I've seen do that. Actually, honestly, that's one of the most popular struggles I see. Like these little things that just add that little bit of leadership throughout those 20 minutes of discovery, right? And kind of seed your ability to like recognize patterns based on the amount of people you've helped, as an example. So
awesome. Thank you very much. That's cool.